Hey, it's Salty Steve here for the Shrewd podcast, and we are here at Calgary City Hall. And there is a protest here. There is a counter-protest and an official protest. The name of the official protest is called Leave Our Kids Alone. So, as typical fashion here at the Shrewd podcast, we are going to conduct unedited interviews of both sides, at least try to, and see what these people are standing for. That was very loud. We'll see if things get heated. We'll see how things go, but we will keep you informed all the way. Once again, I am here with Steve
and Glenna.
All right, so we're here trying to see how people feel and why they came out to this protest. So, of course, first question inevitably is, what brings you out today?
To support these guys. I think they've got a right to protect their kids, and that's what this protest is all about.
And for you?
Yeah, the same. Like, leave our kids alone. Like, take it out of the schools, take it out of the libraries, get it out of the world here. Just leave our kids alone.
Okay, so of course this is in conjunction with other protests that are happening around Canada, and of course it is with the theme of Leave Our Kids Alone. So, who do you think should be teaching children about sex and sexuality and all the things under that umbrella?
I think it's more a parent responsibility, and that's the way it should be.
I agree. It's up to the parents.
And should the teachers be involved in any level of sexual education, or is that entirely the role of the parents?
I think the teachers should stick to reading, writing, and arithmetic, and leave the stuff to the parents.
And when I was a kid, we did have sex education, but the parents approved it, and they approved the curriculum as well.
Yes, when I was a student, we only had the basics of biology. We didn't cover a lot of the other things which are being addressed today. Here with
Brad?
Brett. Well, it's very nice to talk to you. So first question, what are you doing out here?
I'm out here to support my 3-year-olds. I want him to be, just get the best education. I want him to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. I don't want any of this indoctrination. And most people don't know I'm actually going to a barbecue right after this with my 2 best friends who are gay. So that's a shout out to JFX Canada. Can't wait to see you, Jeff.
All right, so you may or may not have heard a few weeks ago there was an incident in Edmonton where a teacher berated a few students because they refused to participate in a Pride event, calling them un-Canadian and that they should just leave. How do you feel about that?
That's pretty bigoted. Everyone's welcome here, but stay away from our kids.
Yeah. And final question, who do you think should be the primary factor in teaching sexual education and sexuality?
Oh, the parents.
Should teachers have any role at all or just entirely the parents?
Zero role.
All right.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Reading, writing, or arithmetic. I'm here with?
Maysoon.
Maysoon. Well, it's very nice to talk to you. So, first off, you had a very fiery and passionate speech. Why are you here today?
To stand up for my siblings as well as every other child in this nation. Yeah.
And so, we've been talking a few times about what's occurred with the events in Edmonton, with that teacher that condemned those 2 boys for not participating in the Pride events. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's the first I've ever heard of that event, but I am very proud of those kids for standing up for themselves, and as well as the parents for raising their kids the right way. Yeah.
And do you feel as though there's been a different kind of perspective publicly on the Pride movement this year?
Oh gosh, I do feel like every year the entire Pride movement does become a lot more prominent and kind of like in your face, especially with Pride flags and symbols and all of that being all year round, not especially in June, but like all year round. But especially when June rolls around, it's just everywhere that you go and it's everything that you see. And that's something that honestly I'm very much against. Yeah.
It is very prominent during Pride Month. And last question, one final thing. Who do you think should be the primary teacher in sexual education?
Parents, for sure. I genuinely feel like the only sexuality that is valid is straight, obviously, between male and female, or if that side wants to call it cis male and cis female. But yeah, I feel like the entire sexuality and gender ideology movement is something that should not be taught at all, and it's something that the parents should have a talk with their kids.
And I'm here with
Lanny.
All right, so this is a fairly decent-sized protest, one of the biggest I've seen since the Freedom Rallies. So, what brings you out tonight?
My daughter is about to turn 6, and I'm just not comfortable with the way things are progressing here, especially in the school system. Yeah.
My daughter's about to turn 6 as well. So, that guy, the guy that was speaking, don't know his name, but he was mentioning an incident that happened in Edmonton, where there was a teacher that berated two Muslim boys because they refused to participate in a Pride event. How do you feel about that?
No, of course not. I've never heard teachers talk like that about or to anybody whatsoever. So, I think I did hear the I did hear the recording that you were talking about, and yeah, that's pretty disturbing, right? Yeah.
It was a little disturbing that she was telling them that they had to go back to their home country and that it was un-Canadian.
Yeah, that's pretty disturbing. Yeah, that's right. Can you imagine if anybody else said something like that to somebody of a different faith? Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then final question. Who do you think should be the primary person in response that has the responsibility for sexual education to students and children?
Well, I don't think it's up to the state to parent or to guide or to program your kids. I think it's kind of up to a parent. A parent has kids or a parent has children for the most part to almost try and bring them up with their own values and whatnot. And I don't know, programming's a bad word, or guiding. I think it's up to parents to guide their kids up to whatever the parents' morals and ethics are. Yeah.
So I actually thought of one final question. So I'm sorry, I lied a little bit to you. So with the modern times that we've been having and the reaction to the movement that Bud Light and Target has been going on, do you feel as though there's a different reaction to Pride this year, or has it been generally the same as previous years?
I think this started about, I don't know, if I couldn't put my finger on it, but call it 7-8 years ago. I noticed this kind of ideology moving in, and let me ask you this then. Have you ever seen anything more divisive since this ideology came into play?
It's hard to find anything that's more divisive than what we're seeing in gender ideology these days.
Yeah, so rainbows and pride flags, they say it's a sign of peace or whatnot, but all I see is things getting more and more divided. And it'd be nice if it wasn't. It'd be nice if we could come together. But Julius Caesar, 50 BC, divide and conquer.
We had a very interesting time at this protest. It was generally bigger than I thought it was going to be. I didn't see the Leave Our Kids Alone side to be so large, but it ended up being very interesting anyways. I wish we could have gotten some interviews from those on the rainbow side, but fortunately that was not to be. But until next time, I'm Salty Steve from the Shrewd Dudes podcast. And of course, you can find us at YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. And you can find us at our website at theshrewddudes.com. So we'll see you next time. And until then, why be rude when you can be shrewd?